out into the wild, indigenous child, surviving formidable trials. I stand in the rain, scanning the blaze in pursuit of the villainous bile, who sent everything that I love into flame. Descent is my name, lamenting my claim. The whip of a boa, perfecting my aim. Revolution the game.
A brother to lead. The blood of the creed.
The sting of the animus, they bring out the man in us. I'm the king of the kill, it's unanimous. I'm slitting your throat, red matches your coat. The brave and the free, they were bad with us. From NY to Boston, it's a beautiful world to be lost in. The snow of the frontier, we go to hunt here. Now the future is unclear. Fathers of freedom are found in the future. They fight in the face of the flames. So ready, obeying, and don't just stop praying. Yet my tomahawk has a land to reclaim.
A brother to lead. The blood of the creed. A brother to lead. The blood of the creed.
Musket guns and silver slivers. Justice runs in crimson rivers. Words of ancient truth we follow. Bleed these veins into tomorrow. Musket guns and silver slivers. Justice runs in crimson rivers. Words of ancient truth we follow. Bleed these veins into tomorrow.
Time is drawing thinner. I'm just a tired old sinner. No chips left on this shoulder. No pride in growing older. But when your borrowed time is through, I'll be with you. Redemption blues. No man can truly outlast all the mistakes of his past. There's no haven here for me that's safe from my memories. But when your borrowed time is through, I'll be with you. Redemption blues. I'll be with you. Redemption blues. I'll be with you. Justice ain't no lady. She's a twisted, battered whore. Redemption, she's laying bruised and naked on a bloodstained wooden floor. I'll be with you. Our days are over. Time to change.
Welcome to game number 2 of my couch surfing. We do have still Duraton's couch, but this time against Furious George. For those of you that missed the introduction and are like, why is she doing this? The simple reason is that Ektar actually used one of my biggest redemptions and like basically got me to cast one of his games. He sent me the replay files and I was like, okay, I need a time to cast when I know he'll be available. And then I saw they were playing today, so I said, I'll just pick up their game and then cast afterward. And then I saw they actually had 2 games. And so I told him, and he was like, well, I assume you mean the second game? Because, you know, there's no way you'll cast all 3. And initially I was going to be like, yeah, the second game. And then I was like, huh? Just freaking watch me? Yes, I will. So yes, this is now Duraton's couch versus Furious George. Nope, this is live. They actually had back-to-back games, which is why there was no winner's interview at the end of the last one. Because I was like, we are already 15 minutes late for the next match. So the match after this, which will be Duraton's couch versus Heavy Slaps, will be a replay cast, 1000%. Also, De La Soak, replays don't have the drafts in them. So, definitely live. We do go and have Ragnaros being banned out, and still Johanna. Johanna continually being banned. But that is why the title of the stream is Couch Surfing, because we're basically just going game to game to game with the couches. I should also mention, if you call in a replay cast, then you will not necessarily get me to go do a freaking, like, marathon with your team. This was just basic, like, decent chance I'll actually end up picking one of your games just so I know right afterwards you'll be available. Because it is important that you be able to watch the replay cast that you call in, obviously. But I'm not going to, like... This is special. This is unusual. Stukov being banned out, so no ban on the Rhaegar. Not super surprising, actually. Like, Rhaegar is good, don't get me wrong. I do not blame Ektar for just scooping that Rhaegar right up. However, the thing about Rhaegar is that, yeah, he's really good. So is Stukov. So is Brightwing. So is Anduin. To a lesser extent, so are Deckard and Lucio. So it's like, it's not like Rhaegar is the, oh my gosh, you must ban this out that he used to be. Like, he's really good, but he's not overwhelming. We do go ahead and have Dahaka coming out of Shadowlands, as well as, speaking of which, the old man Deckard Cain coming from Smitty Warman. You still need a tank to answer and also an offlane. Who will fight the Dahaka? Will you lock it in now? Or will you give your opponents the possibility of banning out one of your offlaners? Brock, that's going to cost you a lot of points to get me to cast them all. That's the other thing. You can't necessarily make me cast one of your games live. Like, obviously, I've got things going on. If you schedule a match during date night and then try and use the points, well, oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. Relative PG-13. You do have wildcard going the Hogger in order to deal with the Dahaka. I wish you would step back from that Hogger, my friend. And Tracer on Apish? Li Ming being the ban out. So we do have to wonder, we don't have a tank yet on the side of the couches. Who are we going to have on the other side? We are on Sky Table, by the way. If you want to know who was banned, because I never talked about it, I have no idea. They did bans without me being in the room because I was busy setting up everything. I still mess it up. If you actually look at the replay, when the stream first came online, it said match 2 was Psistorm Banshees versus Furious George, because I only changed the name of the second team. I forgot to change the name of the first, even though Duratan's was the first team before. But you know what I'm saying. You got what I'm talking about. We do go ahead and have Asmodan being banned out instead.
I'm here to help.
Another variant game coming out, as well as Rojus? off-roster sub? Does Pro just play in Div B now? I used to play with him down in Div E like earlier this season. Very, very, very confused. Not that he's a bad player. Please do not get the wrong idea. I just had no idea he was on Furious George. No, but he 1000% is. Wow, 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 wow. We do have Maiev. Okay, so getting back to the game. Sorry, I got completely distracted. Dahaka versus Hagra. It can go either way, but I do like Hagra in that matchup. We do have once again the Maiev, but this time Tracer going in. Wedge going with Murden, someone with good peel and also good engage. Rhaegar going with the Ektar. Other way around. More actual burst coming out. I do like the Varian setup because you just have Jaina putting the Blizzard on there. Both of them a very, very bursty setup. I do think the edge goes to Rexar or Rhaegar being able to actually heal through the burst. We'll go into the game right now and I will get your gambling up.
Leonidas drops the stun and drops the full ult. Oh my goodness, look at the health bars. It's a quad kill.
Should find the kill. Lunara will clean up that fight. Oh my god, I can't believe it. It is going to be Soul Shield. You gotta be kidding me. And Raw to take the 3v1. Gets one. Looking for the second. Crispy is popping off.
Looks like that Blizzard may connect with 4 people.
People, Lady Ronin! Oh my goodness, what a chat!
That was really good.
Alright, still loading into the game. I need a longer intro. Please help. Whoever made that first intro... Wait, crap, that was me? So, coming into game number 2 here real quick, we are going to go ahead and see Duraton's count now on the blue side of the battlefield. Don't get confused. I know they were on the red in the last series, but this is a new series, new life, new rules. We do go ahead and have Ace riding out onto the Maiev. On the Maiev, not onto the Maiev. Ace is not riding, running down Maiev on their horse. Afish once again on the Chocobo, playing Tracer. We do go ahead and have Captain Wedge coming in on Muradin. Wildcard on the Hagar, and Ektar bouncing around on the Rhaegar. On the other side of the battlefield, Furious George, the Federation of Fury. We do go and have Smitty Warbin on the Old Man Deckard Cain. Proteus is going to be on Jaina. Sparklark playing the, is that Greymane? Did I misclick? I'm not sure. No, King Andrew is on the Greymane. Sparklark is actually playing Varian. And we do have Smitty Warbin. Nope. Who did I not say? Shadowlance is on the Dahaka. Found it! Just had to figure out who I didn't say because I want to make sure to reference everyone. We do have questing talents on the side of Furious George. We do have Tissue Regeneration and Fingers Across. But Ektar ended up in the wrong neighborhood. Absolutely got deleted. First Blood does go to the side of the Georges. Now we know who they're furious at. They're furious at Orcs. Alright, we do go ahead and have the mercenary camps being picked up by both teams. Ektar is back on the other side. What the heck is that? I've never seen that emote. Okay, Ektar, if and when you watch this replay, I demand to know what emote that is. It's very important. Tracer is moving down below. There is Sparklark. I like the instinctual dash back, even though you didn't have taunt yet. You're just like, eh! Valiant Scarian. So keep in mind, if Apefish is as good as Mockery, Varian is not a counter to Tracer. Mockery loves Varian into Tracer, or people picking Varian to counter pick him, because he's just like, you just dash back when the charge happens and you make him overextend, it's fine. You go and have a big attempt to collapse onto Wildcard. Wildcard does a weird, actually gets out and then goes right back in. Oh, King Andrew being XR is right up there. There came the big old rotation in. Shadowlance is being hit by a Stormbolt. There's a lot of damage coming in. Captain Wedge does go ahead and bounce right back out. No kills other than that initial kill into Ektar. It does look like that a little bit of damage will be done top. You always want to try and hit their top a little bit so that when you actually take the top fort, you can take it all the way instead of just getting the towers.
My magic flows through the temples. Guardians, do not let these mortals approach them.
There is Shadowlands, booping and grooving back and forth. Wildcard does miss with the knockback. I don't blame them though. You were trying to get the trajectory to knock them this way. That way they have a harder time escaping. Bit of an engage up here. Ace goes ahead and gets aggressed upon by Sparklar. Does look like Furious George will get top because neither of them really did enough damage to automatically get this. Although as I say that, it's close but not quite. Temple does go down to 2,200, but meanwhile, so 4 for 4 so far. Ace up here. Wedge is running it as well, but it is 2 versus 3. They need to be careful really running into that, and there's the taunt. Ace comes down, is going to go in and get caught by that Dorito. Looks like Hoggar has come up to join the festivities as well. I want a Dorito. Okay, to be fair, I want more than one. Sparklar going ahead anchoring on this bush. Can we see what happens? Both sides once again going ahead. Or do we actually have an invade happening? They're thinking about it. There's a stun on Devarian. The pulse bomb is committed. Sparklar very, very, very low, considering like before the battle even begins, and is going to have to try and run back out of here. But there is murdered, and they do actually successfully take the camp. Water Temple is coming up soon. Slight experience lead coming out of Jerton's couch because they did manage to go ahead and get that. Actually, no, they got stolen from. Never mind, that's not what comes with. Regardless, we do go and have Avatar, Warden's Cage, Portapole, Pulse Rounds, and Bloodlust game. Hello, let's go. Speaking of Bloodlust, here we do have the kill onto Jaina, the kill onto Greymane. Both of the DPS are down. Apex being very, very low, but not low enough. Still has about 100 health. And here comes the temple up. Going to be a free take. Maybe not free, they will come back. Alright, everyone is back up. It looks like they could potentially invade. We've got about half the temple so far. There's Ace. Ace takes a lot of damage. Does go involved to the warden, but very, very low. Has to disengage for this fight. That makes it effectively 4 versus 5 at the moment. Apish goes ahead and hauls back as well. Shadowlance is going into the bushes. Does have a tongue in order to re-engage. But Apish does end up kind of isolated off on their own. Wildcard moves forward. Shadowlance is coming in. Wants a nice Hogger treat. Random side story, I work in regulatory affairs, and I've got one nurse that continuously tries to abbreviate treatment as treat. And I'm like, okay, just for me, because we have auditors, could you not put in notes that a donor had a cocaine treat? That's not something we want to say, as these are people that we actually accept things from. We have Shadowlands moving in, doing a little slashy slash with his clawy claws. Does look like both teams are going to go ahead and pick up theirs. Obviously, faster clear from Wildcard because Hogger cheats. Once again, here comes the invade. Apish is what? Actually, they had the potential of going and taking this. Instead, they're just going to go ahead and help themselves to a fort. It does look like the ults on the side. We do have a Tornado, Cursed Bullet, Isolation, Warbringer, and Summon Water Elemental. Speaking of summon, here comes a big fight. Being attacked from all sides right now. King Andrew does go ahead and steal the camp, but we do have Jaina being down in the back line. There's the Dorito coming out. Nice disengage, but the boss is getting involved. The boss says, hey, your Dorito hit me? That's not okay. You're not allowed to do that. Alright, a lot of damage goes into Sparklark. Actually, I say that Sparklark barely gets touched. Somebody Warbird, on the other hand, does absolutely get touched. And it is a bad touch indeed. We do have Greyman going down, as well as Proteus. Proteus is being like, what happened, guys? I went for a sandwich. Like, I know Proteus was in there and retreated just a little bit before everyone else. Because Jaina's mage body is not very good at standing up to punches. Alright, Ace going to come down here. Go ahead and secure the bottom. Dahaka is here. Right now, Wildcard and Ektar are there. There are more people coming in. Shadowlands, you need to not be there. Oh, great taunt coming in. Captain Wedge taking a lot of damage. Does get zoned out. Great Lornado. He tried to dwarf hop out of there and jumped right into a tornado. I used to live in Oklahoma. That is not a thing you want to do. Of the list of top 10 things not to do when around a tornado, leaping into it is definitely one of them. You are not Pecos Bill. It does look like this temple will be taken, but we do have shots going straight onto bottom keep because they've done such a good job pushing this map.
And so the night fades from my temples, but it will return again.
All right, we do go ahead and have everyone running around. Nice little split happening for both teams. A little bit of a bush party right here, but the rest of the team is not super nearby. Hawker actually going back to pick up a mercenary camp. So not necessarily something we're going to see the most. I shouldn't say, I don't know, what I was trying to say was this is not going to be a time we're going to see a fight because their offlaner isn't there. But then I just sort of abbreviated to, so this isn't a thing the time that we're going to see the most. And I just thought, I listened to myself back, and I'm just like, what the hell am I even saying? I don't know. All right, we do have Ektar sitting on the temple.
Do not let these mortals approach them.
Look at Ektar not supporting the game by not using Rhaegar's new skin. Sparklark is taking the vision camp right now. Did drive Ace out of the area. Dorito comes out, but doesn't catch it. Warden's Cage is committed. A lot of people go in there real quick. They don't have a blaze to stun everyone. There's the Warden's Cage. Ace goes down. We do have approaches dying. We do go ahead and have a lot of onto Sparklock. There is a zoning Dorito. Just go ahead and knock everyone else out. But they are not done yet. Here is Wildcard. Wildcard goes into actually a Speedy Warden. May not have been the one they wanted. King Andrew a much better target as we do have Grey Mane being taken out. Sparklark is very, very, very low and in the backline. Ace is trying to hunt this down, but instead they're going for Smitty Warman and Shadowlance. The S twins are being aggressed upon. There is a tongue coming out, but it does look like they might get away. Tracer is trying to make sure that doesn't happen. Oh, Miriam went on a wild ride, came in and just got taken down. With 4 people down, they're actually looking to end right here. No one's on the temple. They're just all right here in this Nexus's face. Pro just does ice block. Does go ahead. Nice potion right on Pro's feet. So as soon as ice block is over, just instant healing. But the core is down to 50%. They are temporarily driving this back, but it does look like there's still some that went in there. We're down to 30%, down to 15%. Are going to have a hard time keeping this down. And no, we do have game number 1 going in favor of Duratan's Couch. So, looking at stats at the end of game number 1, we do go ahead and have Smitty Warman winning the healing race, as much as there is healing race. You really should, but the fact is Ektar took Bloodlust, so Ektar was not trying to win the healing race, so that doesn't mean as much, but still, hats off to Deckard. In terms of damage, we do have Maev leading the way, followed up by Apish, and then Hogger. The ever-important Soak, we do have Shadowlance beating out Wildcard just barely, winning by about 500 Soak, but still winning. That's all we do is win, 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 no matter what. Real quick, I'll go to talents as I pay out predictions. Okay, people need to bet on more than just one team. I'm glad that the winning team is winning, but come on. A name like Furious George and none of you guys support them? I'm confused. Regardless, though, I will go ahead and be right back for game number 2.
Out into the wild, indigenous child, surviving formidable trials. I stand in the rain, scanning the blaze in pursuit of the villainous bile, who sent everything that I love into flame. Descent is my name, lamenting my claim. The whip of a bow, I'm perfecting my aim. Revolution the game. across the sea to search a distant land. A new frontier before him to provide an upper hand. Mysterious agendas lay behind a graceful guise. A son was born, begotten, shorn, betrayed to noble lies. I take to the water to glide upon the gales. The winds that my father rode will never fill my sails. The sailors on the salty sea, my brothers I will lead. Our cannons fast they burn and blast, our blood is of the creed. My father lost to hunger, the temptation of control. No sentiment you represent can tame a savage soul. I take to the water to glide upon the gales. The winds that my father rode will never fill my sails. Musket guns and silver slivers, justice runs in crimson rivers. Words of ancient truth will follow, bleed these veins into tomorrow. I take to the water to glide upon the gales. The winds that my father rode will never fill my sails. I sails on the salty sea, the world is our lead. Our cannons as they burn and blast, our blood is of the creed. My father lost to hunger, that temptation of control. No sentiment you represent can tame a savage soul. Well, I'm a foul-mouthed, deranged alcoholic space pirate living in disarray. I got a pissed-off cybernetic robot friend, and man, we're gonna ruin your day. Crash landed on this planet and some psycho attacked us, so we shot him in the balls and kicked him into a cactus. Now 1,000 angry mutants wanna come out and play. All hell is breaking loose, and I like it this way, 'cause there's a storm coming, bullets getting hot, hear those guns drumming, somebody's getting shot. There's a storm coming, about to lose control of your rear plumbing, fire in your hole.
Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to game number 2. I never updated the score. Look at me being a scrub bub. Wait, where the heck? Somehow or other my program shut down. No wonder I didn't do it. It wasn't on my screen. 1 second, let me get that taken care of right quick like. All right, we do go ahead and have first band going the side of, that's interesting, from Battlefield of Eternity, and the first band is going to Curious George. So actually that's not interesting. For some reason I just instantaneously were thinking about, or was thinking about, the other side. XR's trying to kill me. XR's like, you know what? We've got Rock up for 3 games. Let's make them 3 as long as possible games. How you doing, Ekta? I shouldn't ask that. You're kind of in the middle of a game, obviously. There is Maiev and Blaze. I do like the ban onto Maiev. That's interesting because if Erector's voting a game 3, he's voting against his own team. So it's one of those cases where he either gets points or he gets to like dominate the enemy. I don't think either of them will make him upset. Also, la di da di da. Check out me drinking my water from a Coca-Cola actual glass bottle. Ooh. I'm a fancy pants. So we do go ahead and have Stukov coming through or not coming through into the bans. I do love that. It's just like, oh, okay, here comes Stukov being banned out, therefore he's coming through. That's the way that works. We do have Sylvanas being banned out as good as well. So what comp will come out? Obviously they can't use the Maiev into it, but they also didn't use Maiev in game 1. I'm trying to remember their comp, and I'm wondering if Furious George considers the comp because they've seen them play Battlefield before.
The crusade calls.
Oh, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I will fight to my last.
Well, that's definitely not what they use in game 1.
We will forge a great destiny.
I always wear pants when I stream because people can redeem to actually look at my boots, and it would be so awkward if they did that and then I wasn't wearing pants. We do go ahead and have King Andrew coming out on the Li Ming. So we do have, once again, they definitely did go the Varian blow-up comp in game number 1.
Change is upon us.
I believe their offlaner was it Artanis? Was that a different game? I get the games all muddled. I'm pretty sure I did see Artanis tonight, though. No. It was Artanis because they had the opposite team had Blaze and Anubarak. We do go and have Anduin being banned out as well. More like Banduin, am I right? So neither side have actually picked up Derp. Ekdar has picked up a healer, so no healer yet. I guess they'll have to ban an offlaner if they're paying. If they may ban out the Artanis just based on what we saw earlier on this map. And yes, indeed. Now there is a 30-second delay. They may have heard me talk about Artanis earlier, but not for right there. Regardless, it's public record. What do you want? I can't not talk about things. I can't not analyze. Get out of here with those expectations. We do want to have Afish coming in on the Orphea, and then Wildcard on Imperius. Interesting, fascinating, fun. I love Imperius on this map. He makes me so happy. Monkey Brightwing coming in. Which I always am a little bit sad when it's this skin because I really like fight time. And we do have Proteus. He's going to go the Hanzo. Jaina did not work as much as they wanted to. I don't blame that. You do want someone with some maneuverability that can like not get charged by Varian. So who is our second DPS? Will it be... It won't be Li Ming this time. Will we have Greymane? Greymane's a really, really good racer as well. I believe... I get to see an Alarak. I love Alarak. Alarak is my like comfort pick. Alarak is my like fattening pick. I sit in the corner, I play Alarak, and I eat ice cream. But we're going to go into the game right now. I'll go ahead and get predictions up. Don't go anywhere. I will see you in just a second, but you will not see me because I am disappearing from the screen. Ninja vanish.
Leonidas drops the stun, drops the full ult. Oh my goodness, look at the health bars. It's a quad kill.
Should find the kill. Lunara will clean up that fight. Oh my god, I can't believe it. It is going to be Soul Shield. You gotta be kidding me. And Raw to take the 3v1, gets one, looking for the second. Crispy is popping off.
Looks like that Blizzard may connect with 4 people.
People, Lady Ronin! Oh my goodness, what a chat!
That was really good.
Once again, the intro is not quite long enough, but every once in a while it actually is slightly too long. I don't know if that's me not pressing it when I need to, or what the dealio is. Oh, I didn't actually realize their names were actually on the loading screen right here. The Angel Lieutenant Alarian and the Demon Lord Belith are locked in an endless war. Alright. Coming into game number 2, we do have Duraton's Couch, winner of the last series. I'm trying to go ahead and repeat that triumph. We do have Ace coming in on Alarak. We do have Captain Wedge on the Varian. Wild Card is on the Imperious. We do go to have Ektar playing the Rhaegar, and then Orphea in her like cool school outfit, and this like in the crab, the meme crab. Did the crab just jump? I think I saw the crab jump. Is being played by Afish. On the other side of the battlefield, representing Furious George. Shot. We do go ahead and have Shadow Lance on the Dahaka. We do get Smitty Warbin on the Brightwing. Progus is on... Wait, is that Progus? They switch? Progus is on Li Ming, not the Hanzo. They switched around. Sparklock on Johanna, and the Hanzo is actually being played by King Andrew. Alright, they do go and actually get the first kill. Big ol' engagement, and they just chase down the Auroch. Sorry for that. I was watching as well as you guys were. I was just like entranced, waiting to see like the end of this. End of this bottle. Alright, a little bit of damage being done. We do go and have Alarak already back, but Alarak snuck up to the top. And so to go ahead and take this down. Alarak would have come up this little passageway right here. So most likely, Wildcard does not realize, but not having seen Alarak in a while, does go ahead... Oh wait, Derp? Why did Alarak go up there? Or why did Dahaka or Imperious go up there? Like, Ace was the one taking it, they're on the same team? You just gave away the secret? Probably doesn't end up mattering, though. Alright, a lot of damage on Sparklar. There comes the teleport in for Brightwing. Keep that alive. Very, very low. Wedge is not in the middle of it. We do have an orb going ahead and smashing in. Sparklar trying to keep people from getting away. Captain Wedge very, very low. Pro just trying to go in there, but not quite able to finish off Wedge. If we were level 10, you had to disintegrate. You could have managed to pull that off, but not quite. Wedge does have to hearth back, however, but a lot of low health bars over here on the side. We have Riddle spawning in. The rest of the team does come back here to go ahead and pick up the Shaman Camp. No answering Shaman Camp on the other side. Instead, they stay down here to go and pick up experience and push through the wall. They do get through the entire wall. Alright, currently 7 stacks on Lion's Maw. Subdue has not managed to get a single stack. And we do go ahead and have Alarak goes ahead and gets a little bit of sadism. Should be up to 103%. I thought so. Look at me knowing numbers. You guys are so impressed that I can do numbers. Math is amazing. Now here's the thing about Alarak. Alarak is really good at this map because he does have telekinesis, so we can kind of push people around. So you can end up pushing people into stuns. Obviously, people have to be... You can't push people from here all the way up into the stun up here. Like, it's not that good. So I feel like Hanzo and Li Ming should win this race, just barely. Not quite, actually. Oh, Sparklock, if you were off of your horse, like, I know you're Johanna, and I understand why you wanted to zone, but you would have done that 300 damage difference for sure. Li Ming did go with Triumvirate. So, level 7 is really when Li Ming gets the race talent. We'll have to go which one they go, see which one they go for. Big Tom comes out of Sparklark. Does get healed up by the Brightwing coming in. We do have Imperious versus Dahaka down at the bottom. 4 versus 4 up here. We'll have to see what happens with it. There is a lot of damage going through. A big old spinny spin happening for the Immortal, and it will go down. The wall stays up, but both towers fall. There's Captain Wedge getting on top of the healer. A lot of damage coming through, and we do go ahead and have Orphea eat that up. But the stacks are reset for Alarak. Back down to a slowly 100%. Yeah, I wish I went to the Alarak school where I can like screw up and be down to 100%. Usually when you screw up, you end up like, you know, your grade ends up less than A+. Alarak is on the way back up. It is here, by the way, if you want to look at sadism. Nice job by King Andrew. Go in. Ape is very, very, very low. There's silence coming through. Ace trying to do the body block and keep Sparklock from running away, but does end up just going ahead and telekinesing himself out of there. Alright, actually rotating around. Are they going to try and steal this? No, it looks like they're just checking the camp. Both sides check the camp to see if their opponents are on it. Imperious is down at the bottom of the map, picking up this camp. Surprising clear strategy. I was going to say must have Holy Fervor.
There is no escaping my justice.
Oh, I saw that Ekdar. Ekdar went ahead and got kind of busted. Both teams going to once again be a little boring and say, we're not going to fight each other.
I seek better ground.
We're going to sit here and just fight the Immortals. This is a PvE map, ladies and gentlemen. They're definitely not winning the race if they all disengage like that. That was very strange. Like, yeah, Li Ming did take. Let me check to make sure before I say it. No, took Calamity. Surprising, unusual. That's 2 Calamities. We have Rhaegar being taken out very, very quickly. Taunt comes down. A lot of damage onto the Johanna. Spinning Warband goes in. It is 4 versus 5. This is a full disengage coming out of the side of Durton's couch. A little bit of a silencing coming out of Ace, but still they need to be careful. However, they're up here. They're distracting. They're dealing with this. That means there's no one dealing with the Immortal. Immortal does not care about the side walls. If it doesn't have a cannon, it's not worth knocking down. That's why he ignores the Moonwell. Totally has nothing to do with it being invulnerable. Don't know what you're talking about. We are up here at the top of the map as well. They're really making their opponents split where they pay attention, but it looks like a decent defense. No fort goes down to the second Immortal of the game. Alright, Ace is here for the flank, looking to move in. There's a big telekinesis, followed up by a silence. Shadowlance is up here. That does mean this is 5 versus 4 as Shadowlance engages from the side. There is the ult, but ult will not get a lot of value. And we do have the tongue gets way more value than the ult as Orphea goes ahead and gets licked to death. Okay, that's totally not actually what happened, but it sounded good.
I shall land in a moment, as will my foe.
Alright, there goes that. Once again, they get the Shaman camp. Their opponents cannot. Their opponents tried to push into top camp while this was going on, but won't be super successful. Looks like their camp is up in 39 seconds, but the Immortals are up right about now.
Before me.
Once again, the race is happening, but this time, only 3 members of Dirton's Couch were there. Although only 4 were on the other side. Still a faster clear? I was getting confused trying to look at this. Right, both they kind of are moving back, waiting to see where their opponents are. We did have a faster clear coming out of Furious George. There's the Unstoppable coming out of Johanna. Johanna very, very low. Brightwing teleports in. There is the Falling Sword to get out of there. No kills, but they have driven their opponent out of the area. Froglock is moving back in, down to about half health. There is a massive, massive, massive Turtle Feast. Great spear, holds Probeast on for a little bit. Or Proteus. We do go in and have Sparklark getting very, very low, but Orphea goes down. Alarak gets reset back to 100 one more time. And that is 2 kills for none in favor of Furious George. Alright, we do have the Immortal coming down to the bottom of the lane. Furious George is riding it on to victory. This may be the first fort of the game. Despite the fact the first 2 Immortals were taken by Dirton's Couch, they were not actually able to get a fort, but this 12-minute Immortal definitely does not seem like he's playing around. We have the fort going down before the shields even get depleted. Alright, we do go ahead and have the Immortal does get through the keep wall and is attacking the keep itself. Will definitely not get the keep. There is a full disengage happening from Furious George. They're going to go ahead and fall back.
But he will rise again in time.
There's a nice burrow to avoid the strike, but not going to get out of here. There's way too much. Oh, Smitty. Okay, I like that combo. Smitty, you need to get out of there. I actually thought Smitty was going to die for 1,000% sure. I'm like, between Alarak and Imperius, there's way too much lockdown, and you are out by yourself. They, surprisingly enough, do have the Rhaegar offlaning right now. Did move down there while Wildcard was fighting.
Return before long, heroes.
Alright, both teams going to pick up their Shaman Camp right quick. But once I do like Furious George is being very, very aggressive to try and move in to take stuff. Nice taunt coming in. A lot of damage with Sparklar. We do have Smitty Orbin moves in one more time. Emerald Wind does go ahead and not use this time, but is a great, great disengage for moments like that. Normally it looks for Lucio to counter taunts and spears and things like that, but Emerald Wind works well. And actually they go ahead and pick off the Imperius. I was not looking at the right place. Imperius is down for 34 seconds. They're trying to defend it right now. Protect triggered just a second late. A lot of damage going through. There is the Falling Sword onto the Orphea trying to move in here. Captain Wedge is in the area trying to go ahead and make sure, but no, Orphea will be taken out by the Li Ming. Right before Imperius comes back. It is now 3 versus 5. Imperius will be back soon, but unless they can actually get a pick, it does not really matter. Daka is peeling off, however, to deal with the lower camp. Looks like they've gone ahead and cut their losses. If they just do what damage to shields you can, we can't fight them just yet, not without Orphea. Do get the shields down to about, I'd say, 45%. And the Immortal is on his way. So we'll have to see what that really means. They do know Dahaka is down here, but there's not a whole lot they can do about it. Whoever does not know, if you're on a mercenary camp whenever the objective spawns, and the mercenaries like disappear off the map, it doesn't disappear, but also the little white dot doesn't go away, so everyone will immediately know, oh, there's someone on that camp, or it would have gone away. There's the EU arrows whiffing right past. A lot of damage from the Hungry Feast, but we do go ahead and have the double kill onto both the Rhaegar and the Orphea. It does like all that goes down as well, and I think Ektar's going to get his dream. We're going to have a game number 3 coming out in just a second, because this is a full health Immortal going into just 2 defenders. Will they be able to hold this back? My guess is no. I don't think there's any real opportunity for them to do that, but we're going to have to find out in just a second. GG is called. Yeah, they feel the same way I do. So, looking at that at the end of game number 2, we're going to have a full night tonight. Oh my goodness, I'm never going to finish casting, but that's okay. I love casting. We do go ahead and have Brightwing winning the Healing War. I did not actually pay attention. What ult did Rhaegar go? Did go Bloodlust again, so once again, not surprising. Proteus does lead the damage charts by a lot, actually, doing 54,000 damage. Hubba hubba. Am I allowed to say that? Is that a thing that can be said? We do go ahead and have 36 onto Johanna. Johanna, second highest damage. What? And then Hanzo with 33. In terms of soap, we do have Dahaka outdoing Imperius. Not really surprising. You do have a global. 17 to 15,000. Talents, we got those. Copy them down. Love them. Use them. Don't ever abuse them. And with that, I will see you in game number 3.
Got a cold, hard grudge and revenge is the goal. Now it's time to sing the murder blues. Got your name etched into my brain and my soul. Sir, no time to pay your dues. 60,000 ways for these psychos to die. Bottle rocket up your butt and send you into the sky. Kick you up into some buildings after you as you fall. Take a power drill and skewer you into a wall. Cause there's a storm coming, bullets getting hot. Hear those guns drumming, somebody's getting shot. There's a storm coming, about to lose control of your rear plumbing. Fire in your hole. Whoa, fire in your hole. Fire in your hole. Fire in your hole. Now we stumbled on a girl named Triska, another lunatic for our crew. She keeps threatening to murder my manly bits. Lady, what the hell is wrong with you?
That's right.
Cause there's a storm coming, bullets getting hot. Hear those guns drumming, somebody's getting shot. There's a storm coming, about to lose control of your rear plumbing. Fire in your hole. Whoa, fire in your hole. Fire in your hole. Fire in your When winter comes, when life is frozen, when the moors they hide away under the snow, fingers of doom will clutch the chosen. All beasts will shiver from the lion to the crow. When winter comes, when times are starkest, when the wailing of the wolves fades with the sun, the wilds are numb, the days are darkest, the fates of many cease to rest on only one. Walls will not hold the winter, over and under all in the way we'll fall. When winter comes, when thrones are idle, when the brave they cower under eyes of blue, the rising roar, the endless cycle, turns the darkest myths of yesterday to truth. Walls will not hold the winter, over and underground. Walls will not hold the winter, all in the way we'll fall. Walls will not hold the winter, over and
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to game number 3. If you look up at the top of the screen, you will see that there is a 1 next to Dirton's couch. There is a 1 next to Furious George. This match is for the interview, and also, I guess, an extra point. You know, whatever. Ragnaros. I almost wanted to make him like a Viking. I'm like, Ragnar Molten Fist is going to be the first one being banned out. Next up, we are going to be seeing a ban on my... I almost even said it before it came in. I'm like, I'm sure they continue to ban on Maiev. Maiev was their undoing in game 1. Now, will we finally see the Johanna banned out? It does look like we have first pick going inside of Dirton's couch, which means that Alterac Pass was the decision. This is a map where periodically you will have prison camp spawn, and you will go and try and free your prisoners, so they will lead a cavalry charge. The cavalry charge causes all of the minions within them to do more damage and also move faster. So you can get across the map very, very, very quickly. They get rid of the Rhaegar. Interesting. Even though Ektar's been Rhaegar both games, they choose to get rid of Rhaegar. Well, Key is not here to cheer for Furious George, just Smitty. Everyone else, who cares? And we do have the Johanna being banned out. But I like, did these teams reverse? We keep having the teams banning out their own hero. Wildcard does get Dahaka, first and foremost, continuing this trend we've seen. Smitty Warman is going with Deckard Cain, going back to game number 1, which scares me a bit. Game number 1, they kind of didn't win, if you remember. We do also have Sylvanas being picked up by King Andrew, but we'll have to see if they switch. They switched last time because they're Sneaky Biscuits. I don't know what Sneaky Biscuit means. We do go ahead. We have the offlaner. We now also have Garage. Garage was actually banned out in our first series. Not that that's any way relevant to this, but Captain Wedge going for Garage. And what worries me is, what are they going to do? Are they going to go with Lucio in order to give him move speed? Are they going to go another Alarak to pull people into him? How will they move Garrosh or get people within throw range? Because Garrosh is relatively easy to kite. Hey there, Georgie boy. We do have Lucio banned out. Exactly what I was saying. They're like, yeah, Lucio would be really, really good. They can also do Tyrande, though. Tyrande can give move speed off of heals. And Tyrande is something they've shown in the series already. Also do go ahead and have... once again, the Asmodan ban. Asmodan ban. I mean, Asmodan definitely can interrupt for a while, but I don't feel like he's the worst. I feel like Li Ming behind the wall is just the worst. Or Junkrat, oh my goodness. I would have probably banned the Junkrat if I was this team. We have Shadowlance coming into Leoric against Wildcard. Again, picking a Leoric into a Dahaka. I just feel like Leoric has a hard time with that matchup. Sparklark on the Fuzzy Dwarf. Do have Tychus coming out in order to help with the burst down of this dwarf, as well as Brightwing is going now. I do think Brightwing also has some things that can give move speed. Can also slow down the opponent by polymorphing them. So no one's taken Stukov so far, and I don't think they will. They've already got Deckard. That's the prize is still available, but not being picked up. Proach is going back to the Jaina. Seems a little close to their game 1 comp. Just saying, not super sure about this. But we'll go into game number 3. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere, and I will see you momentarily.
Leonidas drops the stun, drops the full ult. Oh my goodness, look at the health bars. It's a quad kill.
Should find the kill. Lunara will clean up that fight. Oh my god, I can't believe it. It is going to be Soul Shield. You gotta be kidding me. And Raw to take the 3v1, gets one, looking for the second. Crispy is popping off.
Looks like that Blizzard may connect with 4 people.
People, Lady Ronin! Oh my goodness, what a chat!
That was really good.
All right, coming into game number 3, we do go ahead and have one more time, just as in the last 2. The blue team is going to be represented by Ace playing the Tychus, Ektar on the Brightwing, Captain Wedge on Loktosh Garrosh, Wildcard playing the Dahaka, and Apish is going to be Afish is going to be on Li Ming. We do go ahead and have King Andrew riding around on Sylvanas, the non-undead version. We do go ahead and have Leoric as the Skeleton King, being played by Shadowlance. Spitty Warbin on the Old Man Deckard Gain. We do go ahead and have Progus coming in on Lady Jaina Proudmoore. And then Sparklark going to be on the Muradin. Wow, didn't even get a spray. What? Who are you? I want to know who that is. Bets are up, Ruckus. I don't know what you're talking about. They've been up. You go and have a nice throw. Actually, that ended up being a... Oh, that was a dwarf toss back out. I'm dumb. I was like, that looked like they threw them into safety, but then, yeah, Murden. Just Murden things. We finally have the Fable bigger they are. I doubt it. We've already seen a Tychus by this team. They didn't take it. I just really like that talent. All right, Shadowlands is riding up through the bottom, trying to find out where to go. Both teams are currently on their null camp. Going to pick those up. These are basically the mini objectives. It's slightly better to take them a little bit later. That way, the towers help clear your objective. But over time, that just ends up like getting you further and further behind. So it kind of can be argued both ways. All right. Go ahead and have the Dorito coming up. It does not connect with anyone. We do go ahead and have Shadowlands moving back and forth down below, looking for an engage opportunity, but the rest of the team isn't here, so Shadowlands better go ahead and make a hasty retreat, going back to the bottom lane. But okay, never mind. We're not collapsing. The Warbin goes back for... I love how it says prisoners located in 15 seconds, yet it's pinging out on the map. Oh, I wonder where they are? Captain Wedge is sitting here in the bushes. We are a few seconds away. Now, I do like this. We do go ahead and have Furious George goes ahead and picks this off. Gives him a little bit of a delayed start, but that means their opponents will have to respond to it. I also love the idea that the prisoners are located, like, both camps are located at once. So, like, the Horde didn't even know where they were keeping prisoners. And then they're like, oh, yeah, it's over here. All right, both teams doing the same thing. Nice, Sylvanas going through, turning off those towers. They do get a free tower out of it. A little bit of experience. Both teams on the cusp of level 7, and actually both get it as I started having that sentence. All right, nice body block. Goes ahead and stops Pretty War from being able to go through. There is a Dorito comes out. Does go ahead. Nice use of the purge in order to keep Captain Wedge. Ace very, very low. Did get his hope drained, but is going to be able to get out of there just fine with only 150 health. The Andrew also goes ahead and Banshee waves right back. Shadowlands does get thrown. It does look like we may have our first kill. And yes, indeed, the Skeleton King is more like the Skeleton Corpse. Or more like the Skeleton Spooky Ghost. Ooh, Spooky Ghost! Shadowlands is already back because Leoric cheats. Alright, nice throw. Shadowlands once again on the verge, and that is a second kill onto Leoric. Leoric deciding to be the tank. Taking that away from Sparklark for a second. So here it is. I don't think Leoric can come back in time to deny this a second time. I say that as Leoric is already back, but you know what? Only got 5 seconds left. They're not going to be able to channel this in time, I don't believe. Oh, look at me being a big old liar. They do retake it with 2 seconds remaining. So going back and forth, both teams looking for an engage right now. Leoric has died twice, needs to be a little bit careful. I know you come back quickly, but not that quickly. There is a slight experience advantage on the side of Duraton's couch. This is not like Abraxas, so having like only 2 seconds left means nothing if you end up losing the objective. All right, bunch of damage on the oh my, poor Shadowlance. Shadowlance is just absolutely getting pulverized. It's like being pulverized with a, like, cudgel. I think Andrew also taking a lot of damage. Sparklark is super body blocked. This is a 3-man wipe. Durton's couch is pure to play. They do go and lose Li Ming to the water elemental, but they will go and get the last 2 seconds channeled.
Time to show them what the Storm Pikes can do.
So we do have the very, very fearsome Ram Riders spawning in. I don't actually remember where that theme is from, but I know I've heard it. Big old scary Ram Rider. Here in the middle, we do go out of a lot of damage going through. They're not actually supporting the Ram Rider. They realize there are 4 people there. There's only 3 of them. They're going to rotate up top and support this push. The wall is down. The wall is down. A lot of damage. Great, great taunt. And we're just going to have Sparklark. No? I completely thought Sparklark was going to die, but managed to get out. And Garage is actually the one that goes down. Just saying, if that was bigger they are, would have gone down for sure. Those that don't know, the bigger they are actually doubles the minigun damage. So what Tychus happens is whenever Tychus hits his D, activate have back his attacks against heroes deal bonus damage equal to 2.5% of the maximum health. So that's a lot. Every attack does an extra 2.5%, just shreds through it. Bigger they are increases that to 4%. So you just go through it, but it causes nothing to happen at the 20% mark. So you get them down 20% super, super fast. And then the rest of the team just finishes them off. Not super effective against Garage, because Garage gets a whole bunch of armor at 20%, and it's hard to finish off. But Murden gets no such advantage. We do actually have... Now, Ektar does see this is happening. Li Ming is not on the way just yet. They do go ahead and pull back. They realize their opponents are coming up. Do go ahead and have the Hawk at the bottom lane, as well as Shadowland sitting here. Going back and forth. I'm waiting for an engage to happen. They do move down to the middle to deal with this null camp, but that does leave top undefended. Right Wing is going to go ahead and push this in real quick. I say as though there's a wave here. Captain Wedge does get caught. Oh, nice. But there is the teleport from Ektar. Ektar very, very low. Is going to go ahead and have to flash heal out, but did flash heal to Wedge, which is still within range. Wedge is running away very, very, very low. There's the throw. Throws Sparklark into an area. Oh my goodness. How is Wedge still alive? Like, I know I just said that Garage is hard to kill at low health, but Jeebus? Ace does bring out the Odin. I'm surprised they're not just going in for structure damage right now. Okay, use it. Used it on the invulnerable building. Cool. Good call. They are channeling. 3 members of the opposing team are here. They are coming in from above. But Lornado actually committed. We do go ahead and Ektar teleporting into Captain Wedge. We have the full engage. Everyone is here, but Doc is a little bit disengaged. They are channeling this right now. They have a level advantage. Wildcard going to go ahead and stop that channel at 30 seconds. They are moving in to go ahead and take out this fort. Will be the first fort of the game, and it does indeed go out. giving trickling residual experience, but level 16s are online for Duraton's Couch. Sparklock going to go ahead and bounce on right on back out of there. I just noticed this is Nexomania skin. Wedge, great taste, fantastic. Run around with a steel chair. Go on, turn towards the camera. Thank you. Okay, I actually need to pay attention to what's happening. We've got a little bit of engage happening down here. Nice burrow by Wildcard. Does get the tongue off and a lot of damage. We'll go ahead and get Dorito, and there is the Lornetto to knock him back out into damage. Silence on the Dahaka. There's the approaches. We do go and have Garrosh back. Does throw the Murden into harm's way. Murden does get taken out, but I actually thought the Murden got out. I stopped following it. I'm sorry for not having faith in you, Li Ming. Do go ahead and have the middle one also moving through. Lots of damage coming on. So we do go and have the bottom lane just absolutely pushing through. They don't bother trying to go to top. They just go straight up there. The middle one is cleared out, but they go and get the wall. They are going to disengage as their opponents show up to defend the fort. It looks like they're going to take advantage, but Shadowlance is here. Does catch Ace, but there's a lot of damage. Unstoppable does have to get out of there. Ace gets out of range of the middle fort. Very, very, very unhealthy group comes into here. It does look like this will get cleaned up.
Cavalry sacrifice will not be in vain. The frost wolves are finished.
They are going to sit on top of this guy. So, first actual boss of the game. We did have some posturing earlier. Now, they're a little bit late getting here. Are we going to have a full rotation up top? We might. Brightwing is staying down here because Brightwing, of course, does have that teleport. If they stop and get the... They're trying to pass through where they won't be in vision. The Shadowlance does see them coming. And neither Dahaka or Brightwing here, but both of them do have globals. And it does look like they're actually hearthing. They're canceling their hearths though. So now they could, and indeed, they go ahead and scout that out, and they say, okay, our opponents are back there. That means we get a free boss up here. It does look like, I'm so pretty surprised, like, if you are Furious George, you kind of want to take a fight right here because your opponents are almost 20. Drekthar does get pulled out. Still has 2 armor plates, so does go ahead and have 40 armor and 40 spell armor.
The other soldiers and show the host what the Stormpipe Guard can do.
So it does look like the top keep is going to be saved for the boss, but they only have 30 seconds to go back in here. They are in the middle pushing this through, but they're really only stopping their opponent's middle camp. With that being said, we do go ahead and have an invisible wedge. Level 20s are online.
As if the Horde could ever stop us! Mount up!
So they are looking to mount. They really do need to knock down a second creep. They'll probably look at top lane, because top lane's already got the wall destroyed. Whereas mid lane does not.
Let's do this!
The heroic is not going to be able to stay down here, I don't think. Like, not that he'll be pushed off, but that they kind of need him for the defense. And here we come moving through the top lane. This guy is going to increase the run speed of the group. Nice Odin coming out in order to siege down even harder. They're really, really focusing this, but one team is focusing the guy, the other team is focusing the fort. And it looks like the fort will go down first. Meanwhile, in the middle, we do go ahead and have the second Ram Rider arriving to the battlefield. A lot of damage coming out. Polymorph does stop that. And we do have Shadowlance going down one more time. All three forts are down. No armor remains. So the keep will now take full damage from attacking abilities. We do have a kill onto Progus. Very, very, very low health bars on the Sparklark. And a lot of damage. This definitely looks like it's going to be game number 3. And Duraton's Couch does get to actually have a winner's interview. One second while I go and get that set up. But while I'm asking, as an FYI, anyone that is new here or came over from the teams, I'm Raka. I do a lot of casting. Feel free to follow the channel, especially if you can't talk. It will let you talk after a day. I had to put on a lot of things in order to make sure that I didn't get harassed. If you want to know when I'm going to cast, pay attention to my Twitter or my Discord. They're both linked down below.
Hello there.
Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Congratulations.
Thank you, and thanks for the double cast. Sorry we made it to 3 games both times, but first pick is really good.
Oh, did you actually win the coin flip as well?
I don't know how the coin toss went, but I know that we won every game we got first pick and lost every game we got map pick. So, coin toss.
It sounds like you need better strategies on the specific maps.
No, you just have to win 2 out of 3. Just win the coin toss and then win 2 games. Easy every time.
So, normally I try and ask questions about every game. They definitely together.
Don't worry, same here.
I do have to ask, first of all, tell me about the Lily pick as healer, because it definitely caught me off guard.
Go ahead,
The call was that we wanted a cleanse. The remaining cleanses were Uther, which I didn't like because they had Mephisto. Whitemane, which I didn't like because Mephisto, because he's very good, consistent damage. And Lily, who was the best top-up healer left that still had a cleanse. So, yeah, it wasn't that complicated. Just cleanse and lots of AoE healing.
So basically what I'm hearing is that you wanted to break my heart by not taking Whitemane.
I love Whitemane. It wasn't a Whitemane comp. If I take Whitemane, then Tribulation on the Tavorin on the Mephisto just never hard commits to an engage, and they just poke Whitemane's mana away until I can't do anything.
So I was also very interesting. I'm sorry, 7th Ace, that I just keep talking to Ektar, but you actually made a lot of dreams come true, because both times you got Rhaegar, you went for Bloodlust, which is something we almost never see.
Is that... I don't pay that much attention to the meta, but I probably take Bloodlust in more than half the games that I take Rhaegar, at least when I'm in a 5-stack, because the ability to just kill someone is really good, and if you kill the enemy team well enough, you don't need healing.
But that means at the end of the game, when I talk about healing numbers, you lose?
I don't care about numbers. I care about winning games. That's
Clearly-
not true. I care deeply about healing numbers, but I care about winning slightly more.
So this series, I don't even know what was banned out. I assume you guys banned Braxis because you hate fun.
No, we banned Volskaya and Infernal Shrines this time. Wedge put it in team chat, so we're good to
Well,
go.
I guess that's what happens when I presume. I make a prez out of you and me.
Yes.
So I'll be a prez.
So, game number 1 was, I believe, like 2 was Spider Queen.
Depends on which series. The
Which
first
game?
one in series 1 was BOE. I've got the replay folder pulled up. So it's the BOE game where they went dive and we went taunt varian.
Yeah, that was an interesting comp because it definitely felt like it worked extremely well, which was a bit surprising because I kind of feel like Taunt Variant shows your hand a little bit too much, but you still got a lot of picks out of it. So
We did a lot of prep, especially for Psistorm Banshees because they're
Yeah.
the top of the division, and we really wanted to prove something tonight. So we had a really long scouting session last night, and we put this plan together. And like you said, it worked really well. But it's the type of comp that is balanced on the edge of a knife. If we are out of position, like once, our backline dies, and then our Varian walks away sadly, and we just lose over and over. So we really needed to take the fights in the geometry that we did, so that we didn't just get taken back to front and destroyed, which is hard against a Nubarak and Blaze and Kerrigan.
Oh, it absolutely is. I know I'm jumping around, but I'm just like, as I remember stuff. How
good.
much did you guys practice the Warden's Cage into Blake? I saw so many Blaze stuns that's just like, okay, their whole team can't move for a while.
I don't know. I like playing Maiev a whole bunch, so we play Maiev a whole bunch, and it's just kind of... I am pretty proficient at just yelling right before I go into a fight, so everybody knows to hold the cooldowns. So I just go, I'm going for him, and then press all the buttons, and everybody just kind of disappears sometimes. That's really what it is. So, yeah, communication.
Whenever Ace can be our engage hero and have Wedge for follow-up, it tends to go very well for us. Nothing against Wedge, but Ace is just a little bit better at making those engages happen.
Yeah, it was interesting that because I didn't notice this, and I'm embarrassed that I didn't. But what made you guys decide to? I'm amazingly dumb. Never mind. I was about to ask what made you guys decide to swap out Ace for the last match, and then I'm like, wait, it's just because it doesn't say 7th Ace doesn't mean it's a different person.
No, in fact, Blizzard doesn't let you start names with a number, which is very mean, so I just make it Ace. But I have the alt account where it's spelled out, so ooh, fancy.
Reported.
I see you are just as good at having secret alt accounts as I am.
Ah,
My alt account, for anyone that's curious, is Irakov,
wow.
as opposed to
Sneak.
Raka.
Sneak 100.
Your actual stream name is your alt account. That's funny.
Yeah.
I'm not quite on the level of Stoic, whose alt account is Stoic.
And has several other people who have named their alt accounts Stoic as well.
So, can you talk to me a little bit about after game number 2? Because game number 2, it seemed, at least in the second series, it seemed like I guess both series actually, it seemed like you had to control until abruptly you didn't. What did you guys do going into game 3 in order to be like, okay, we need to make sure that doesn't happen again?
I have mentioned this. We got first pick. Thumbs up. I mean, so the big thing, in game number 2 on the first series against Psistorm, where they had on Tomb, they ended up getting a really frontline engage heavy composition, and they had a Rhaegar to basically just drop an Ancestral whenever you need to, whenever somebody gets low.
Also,
We ended up not having a composition that we particularly liked. I didn't like my last pick Vala, but I feel like we needed the 20 power. But the power of Kel'Thuzad Entomb at any point and Anubarak dives into Entomb was just way too much. So they just drafted that second game really well in the first series. And so getting that priority in the drafting phase again really helped us turn that around and pick up a little bit of a cleaner composition. In game 2, or in series 2 rather, on the BOE, we went for that same kind of variant taunt comp, but, and I put this in Div B chat, who was it? Progus on that Li Ming absolutely ended my career because every pull I did to follow up a taunt, the pull worked and the Discord strike would not go through because I would get Wave of Forced on every engage. And it was really frustrating because then the CC wouldn't be chained together properly and they're able to pop abilities instead of be silenced. So that was really problematic and our single target did not work. And we didn't have good enough race/burn to kind of force that. So again, drafting error I did not like. In hindsight, I really didn't like my last pick option. So in the games we won, I felt much happier about the draft even before we went into the game.
Interesting. All right, that's weirdly enough a much more detailed answer than I was actually expecting. So thank you.
No problem. I really like just talking about the game, so that's why Ektar and I have the longest interviews in the entire league.
Probably actually true.
Yeah, that I'm rubbish at interviews because I don't understand as much. So I'm just like, tell me about this.
That's just it though. You say, "Tell me about this" to this thing that you don't understand, and hope that they give you a good answer.
So second to last question I have to ask. So in this most recent game, there was a very interesting moment where you kept scaring them off top boss, but then not taking it until finally you saw them bottom. What was your plan at that point, and how did you decide like where to prioritize pushing your boss versus going and trying to stop theirs?
The comms at the time were, all right, we're going boss to boss. Try to dodge the minions. We didn't because the lanes just kind of clumped up together. And then we saw a couple of... Leo was warding the top mud very strangely, in a way that would indicate that the team was kind of nearby. So we knew we could play slow because the bottom boss was pushing down, and that gets a keep if not responded to. So we just were fine sitting on our hands and waiting for them to finally show on the map to start that top boss. And if we didn't get the top boss, we were guaranteed to get the keep. So we weren't sad on any end of the exchange. In the end, they gave us both the keep and the top boss, so a little bit of indecisiveness late.
And the whole time I was just in bottom lane collecting XP globes, and I was trying to stay far enough back that they couldn't see me from the minion wave, but close enough to pick up most of the XP. That way, the longer nothing was happening, the more ahead we were getting.
Yeah, I really liked our draft in that 6th game this evening with the double global to out macro in a very major way, but also have the Garrosh Tychus to lay the pain on their engage. It was very difficult for that Murden to be able to get a whole lot done with the Garrosh Tychus, but they couldn't just wait because we got more ahead. So it forced them into a lot of rushed fights, and it was very tough.
All right, definitely makes sense. And the last question I always ask, can you tell me where the name Duraton's Couch comes from?
I know it's the pun off Duraton's crotch, because that's what the... I forget, is that the exact name of the portrait? It's not the name of the portrait, but that's what it looked like or something when people started seeing that when it was first released. So they went with that, and then it became the couch, and you'll have to ask Wedge for the bigger lore, as they changed it in Season 2 of NGS.
Wait,
Shout out to Durton's Couch.
They changed the lore? You can't change the lore?
No. They,
Sure you can. It's called a retcon.
Originally, the team with Captain Wedge and Wildcard and others, I don't know exactly who's on there, was Jimmy's Got a Gun in NGS Season 1. and then they change it to Durton's Couch, and they've been the longest running team in NGS.
Yeah, they've played in every. They've not only been around since season 1. I'm pretty sure they've actively
Yes.
played since season 1.
Yes, Wedges played in every season and probably has the most matches played of any single person in all of NGS.
I wonder who the person with the most matches played of all of the married people in NGS are.
Hmm.
Since we already established who the single one is. In case you missed the joke.
Ah, there it is. There it is.
So that's all the questions I had. So let me go ahead and turn it over to you for any shout-outs that you want to give.
Shout out to the Couch for playing 6 consecutive games. Shout out to Raka for casting 6 consecutive games.
Just wait.
Are you going to do the 2 to 3 more?
I am.
Are you mad lass? I can't believe it. Actual mad lass. So yeah, shout out to really appreciate your couch surfing this evening. It's going to be a lot of fun to go back and watch. Shout out to first off Psistorm Banshees for being an incredibly strong team, who will no doubt be up there in the upper seeds once the playoffs come around here in B East. And to Furious George, who will most certainly be around there as well, as they've taken games off of both the Couch and Psistorm Banshees, so they are a good force of a team as well. Tough set today, but with some really great teams, so shout out to them. Hector, you got any bonus?
Shoutouts to NGS for putting on an incredible tournament. Definitely not self-referential there in the slightest.
Of course not. 3 of us have
shout
nothing
out
to do with NGS.
Shout out to Valcomer's mom for being a lovely lady. And shout out to all of the wives, girlfriends, husbands, and boyfriends of NGS players for putting up with us. Especially those of us who are casters and like to yell.
So yeah, 1,000%. Typically, my SO is not over here when I'm casting. I always go to her place. Because I get loud.
You go to her place to cast?
No.
That's an interesting decision.
But that is also why you would never see me cast on Mondays.
That's
there
fair.
you go.
Fun rock galore. But yep, that concludes the live casting. But people in chat, don't go anywhere. The stream's going to come back up in like 30 seconds. And we will be doing a replay cast of Duraton's Couch versus Heavy Slaps. That is what you redeemed, right?
Yes.
Fantastic. Want to make sure I got it right.
That is the one we didn't get live casted, right, Ace?
Probably. Oh.
I'm almost certain that is the right one.
It's the team with De La Soak and Crazy Boots.
Well,
so I think that's
De La
correct.
Soak is on Heavy Slaps. So
Cool.
Right.
yep, I will see those of you that stick around in about 30 seconds.
It's me.
All right.
I'm those that stick around.
Thanks, Soraka. Really appreciate it. Hydrate well.